Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Destress Thursday. My name is Lisette and I'm the Associate Director of the Tiernan Field House, and today we are going to be making DIY coffee sleeves. A steamy drink is the perfect way to warm up and wake up, but sometimes can be too hot to handle. And though the standard cardboard sleeve gets the job done, there are much cuter and environmentally friendly options. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so let's go over some items that you're going to need. Go ahead and pick out a cotton fabric that you like. You're going to need to cut it 5 inches by 12 inches. Next, you're gonna need a fusible fleece. So you could get this at Joann Fabrics, and you're gonna need to cut out around 4 inches by 10 inches. There's quite a bit of sewing in this project, so I really recommend getting pins. It's really gonna be a lifesaver and just be easier to hold everything in place. Scissors. You're going to need these 2 templates, so I'll include it in the link below, but you have to print out both. One is for the outer sleeve and the other is for the fusible fleece, so make sure you have both templates available for you. You're gonna need an iron, and I recommend having a sewing machine. You can do a hand stitch, but it is gonna take a while. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so next you're gonna wanna go ahead and take your continuous coffee sleeve fusible fleece template, and we're gonna trace it along our fusible fleece. So make sure you're tracing it on the side that's not the rough side, because this is the side that's gonna adhere to our cloth when we go ahead and iron it later. So you're gonna make sure you trace this template along the softer side. Go ahead and hold that down. Okay, so now you're just gonna go ahead and cut that out. Okay, so when you're done, you should have the following. Again, on the opposite side, it should be the rough patch, so make sure you just cut it the right way. And we're gonna repeat the same steps with our cloth. So go ahead and grab your other template for the outer sleeve. You're gonna lay out your cloth, and you're gonna cut 2 of these templates. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this should be your end product right here. You have your 2 cloths off to the side and then your fusible fleece. So now we're gonna pick one piece of fabric and we're gonna fuse this to our fusible fleece. So again, one side is gonna be rougher than the other, and this is the side that has the glue. So you're gonna take the one piece of cloth, flip it so it's right side down, and then you're gonna take the rougher side of the fusible fleece and lay it over. You want to kind of center it as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get it centered. I'm going to put this one off to the side for now. And we're going to go ahead and take this and fold it over. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and iron it. And this is just going to fuse the glue together. So I find with fusible fleece, it'll shrink on you sometimes. So try to keep your iron moving. Okay. So now we have it stuck both sides. Go ahead and let that cool just for a little bit. Okay, so the next step is where our project gets a little tricky. Don't rush through this, just take your time. I'm not an advanced sewer by any means. I'd consider myself a beginner, so just stay with me. So you're gonna take your fabric with the fusible fleece and you're gonna fold them right side together so that the edges line up. So you're just gonna fold it like here. Try to line it up as best you can. And then you're gonna sew and allow for a 1/4 inch seam on the edge right here. So I recommend using your pins on the side and then sewing. Make sure when you start off with a back stitch and then finish through. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing for this fabric. You're just gonna line it up, fold right side together, and then line up the edges and sew a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew these and then I'll come back and show you how it looks like. Okay, so I want to go ahead and stitch the edges. So this is how it looks like on both ends. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our fabric and we're gonna press open the seams. So let's start with the one that doesn't have the fusible fleece. You're gonna press open the seams and lay it out. So let me get my towel really quick. We want it to be as flat as possible. So you're just gonna press these open and then take your iron and iron it out. And you're just gonna do the same thing to the other side. This the one with the fusible fleece might be a little trickier, so it's not gonna let you move up and down. But go ahead and just press it down with the iron. So they should be as flat as you can get them. Okay, so you're gonna take one fabric and you're gonna flip it right side out, so we already have that, and you're gonna take the other one and flip it right side in. Now the fabric that's right side in, you're gonna place this one inside. So it should be right sides together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that, and I'm gonna make sure that the seam is on opposite ends. Put that in there. Okay, and just give each side a little bit of a tug. So next step, what you're gonna wanna do, and take your time on this part, is to line up the edges. So you can either clip it or pin it, and just make sure it lines up all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin the edges so that it's all lined up, because right now I have some parts coming in now. Okay, so this is how it looks. I lined up my edges as best I could and I pinned them down into place. Now we're gonna go back to sewing again. So what you're going to do is you're gonna take this piece and you're gonna sew from the inside. So we're doing a 1/4 inch seam again, so you're just gonna push it back and then sew along the inside here all the way around. So I'm gonna go do that really quick and come back and show you how that looks. Okay, so this is how it looks after I sewed it. So as you can see, I just kind of stitched all along the edge to line them up. So once you have that, you're gonna go ahead and flip them both out. And then you're gonna take the side that has the fusible fleece and you're just gonna fold over along the fusible fleece. Go ahead and then pin that into place. I'm gonna go do that and then I'll show you how it looks. So now you're gonna take the fabric with the pins and fold it inside of your other fabric. So your fabric should be wrong sides together, and you're just gonna use your fingers to roll the edges so that they go ahead and line up. You're gonna see on the other end that one of your fabrics is longer than the other. Just go ahead and take that and fold it down. So you're taking the fabric with the longer edges and folding them in to meet and line up with the inner folded fabric. So go ahead and keep rolling it. And then we're gonna go ahead, and once we have it lined up, we're gonna go ahead and sew along that edge. Okay, so last step is, now that I have both sides folded in and pinned together, I'm gonna go back to the sewing machine and I'm gonna stitch along the inside all the way around again. So again, I have the sewing machine here and then I'm stitching along the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then come right back. Okay, so you can see I was able to stitch along the edge. I did miss a little part right here, so I have to go back and stitch that piece, but I'm just gonna go fold it in for now. But this is it, this is your final product. I'm gonna grab my coffee and you just slide it on in there and enjoy. Thanks again for watching this week's Destress Thursday video. Be sure to keep an eye out for next week's newsletter for more DIY videos.